Okay then, it is Ask Lee Wednesday. I've got two questions. I just want to mention, if you have a question that you would like to ask me, please do so in the comments below to this particular video. This is the Ask Lee a Question video or section slot. It would be very nice if you didn't go onto the lives, which are aimed at a specific topic, and ask questions which don't relate to that topic at all, because I'm not going to answer them on the lives because, for obvious reasons. So Taylor Gang asked, how do you open a demon sigil? Now, I'm not entirely sure what Taylor Gang means by opening a demon sigil. I think there's many ways we can interpret that. But, as long as we're not talking about gate opening, it's not something I'm going to teach in a public forum, because it comes with particular risks and is an advanced method. And if you are at a stage where you want to open gates, you should be at a stage where you can actually figure that out by yourself, because you are in that advanced stage. So all I can really think of when we talk about opening a demon sigil, the sigil or the seal that comes with the demons in the Goetia and various other places, the Dukant hierarchy, and the Dukant sigils themselves and things like that. It's kind of like a calling card, if you consider it like a phone number or a digital card or something like that. If you go onto your phone, you can go through your address book or your phone book and your contacts and pick a certain person, click on their number or their digital card, and you will be connected with them. So it's very similar to that. So when we are working with the sigils themselves, there are the easiest way to actually do this is to gaze at the sigil and chant the N for the demon, and just keep chanting that. And what will happen is you'll go into a light trance state, and as you're gazing at the sigil, it will start to shift and move. And that's the only way I can think of, if we consider opening a demon sigil. The sigil itself is just the way to create that contact, that contact between yourself and the demonic energy. And then, the demon comes through. You don't even need to use the sigil, you can just use the N. So it really is about connecting to the energy of that spirit. It's not about opening the sigil itself so that the demon can come through the sigil. That's not really how it's done. So if I'm not answering this question properly, please can you let me know, and I'll elaborate a bit more. The other question was from Taylor Trent. We've got two Taylors today. Wanted me to do a video on how I learned astral projection, my first experience with astral projecting, and what I usually do in the astral. All right, the topic is extremely broad. It's huge. I know you're asking particularly about astral projection. This is usually referring to out-of-body experiences, where you lie down, you get into a between state, or borderland state, and then your spirit, your soul, whatever, your astral double, whatever you want to call it, comes out of your body. It can be referred to as your consciousness. It comes out of your body and goes traveling and journeying. And some people will define between astral projection and astral travel. One is where you are traveling around this plane, your physical environment. So you would move through your house, and then you would go outside, and you can go around the neighborhood and go to different countries and things like that. The other one is where you are moving into different dimensional states. So just that, there's a lot that we could cover there. that is not an art form that I actually practice. I don't do astral projection. What I do astrally is I consciously journey to different planes, to different realms. My main astral work is done through shamanic journeying. So I will travel to the lower realm, or the underworld, or the lower world, or the inner world, depending on what you want, how you want to call it, what you want to call it, and what you want to refer to it. I may do journey work to the middle world or the upper world. It may be in reference to the Nordic traditions, where I go to the different realms. But that is my main area within the astral. So how I learned, don't really know how I learned. A couple decades ago, I was part of a experimental coven, I suppose we could say. At that time it was experimental anyway. And we did various types of work where we worked in dark and light time. And this is kind of doing rituals in dark time being the astral time. And those rituals in dark time may take an hour, but in light time, which is the physical time, working at the same time, could take a week. So, you know, the time that passes in the astral and the time that passes in the organic is very different, and it can be switched the other way around as well. It can be an hour in the physical, and you could end up feeling like you've spent hours or days in the astral. But we used to do rituals where we were working dark time and light time simultaneously, and that's really where I think I got a really good understanding of the whole process and the astral realm and journeying and things like that, and then just continued from there. And I learned shamanic journeying. But as I say, it's not, I wouldn't really call it astral projection. It's moving your consciousness or your astral double into a different realm. I don't do the type of work, I don't do dream work. If you actually look at Carlos Castaneda's work, probably the easiest way to explain it, is that he talks about two different types of people. There's stalkers and dreamers. And I'm a stalker, I'm not a dreamer. So all of my work that I do with energy and altering my own environment and things like that is through physical means. So I will do energy work through physical means, singing, doing qigong, doing meditation, but it's not the type of work which could be considered dreaming, which would then fall into what we often refer to as the astral. It's very difficult, as I say, it's so broad, it's very difficult to try and define things unless we have an understanding of terminology that two people who are discussing this actually agree on, or understand what they are actually talking about when they say a particular thing. So let's say astral projection for one person, I mean, astral projection could be consciously sitting down, getting into a trance state and actually consciously, or moving your consciousness or your astral double into these realms, doing shamanic journeying. To another person, astral projection is literally lying down and your soul or your double or whatever you call it actually moving out of your physical body. So there's different ways we can look at this, there's different ways you can work with the astral. So it is a bit of a difficult question to answer without spending hours and days on a reply. So I hope that helps in some way. If it doesn't, just give me a shout and we'll have a better look at it, a more in-depth look. All right, so that's Ask Lee Wednesday. As I said, if you do have a question that you want me to answer on this particular slot, please ask it in the comments to this particular video. and I'll include it in the next week's Ask Lee a Question slot video. Alright, so have a great one. Bye bye.